Okay, let's have a little chat about Noni Madueke and his new position. We're going to be speaking about the other day's game to speak about Noni Madueke in this new left wing role. Before we get into the video, I just want to point out today's Thursday when I'm going to be uploading this video. On Friday, I will be uploading a preview for the Liverpool game, which I haven't uploaded in a while. There's a few players, Jackson, Madueke, being some of them that we need to touch on for this Liverpool game and how important they could be. So if you want that, smash the like button straight away. Leave a comment letting me know that you want that. The more likes and support we get on this video, the quicker I can get that one out tomorrow, as I know everybody is wanting it. And we're going to go from there. So don't usually do that at the start of videos, but we're trying to push for 5k on the channel. So all the likes, all the comments, all appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into talking about Noni Madueke in this new role, because it's something I'm very excited about, him playing off the left. I'm going to tell you in this video why it could be an option next season with the likes of Esteval, who could come in on the right. We don't know who's going to be signed for the left wing next season yet, in terms of there's lots of links, which again, next week, I'm going to have an analysis out on Gittins to speak about him, because he's one of the potential options for that left-hand side. But what did Madueke offer? Now, I've got it sort of lined up in the shape that we started in, and I'm going to sort of drip feed in a few examples throughout the video of Madueke playing off that left and how he sort of affected the game from there. But let's start with when he receives the ball in these sort of wide areas, where he's, say, dropped off to here, and he has that ability to carry forward. Now, we're talking about one of Chelsea's best progressive carriers in the entire team. Probably the best, really, in terms of dropping in deep and carrying it forward. Jackson does it very well centrally. But I'd say Madueke is probably the best in the side at doing that, where he drops into these areas and he can drive forward. Now, of course, the obvious example and the obvious positive for this being on the left is on his left foot. He's got it on the outside. He is carrying it with his left foot. When he's carrying it with his left foot, he is on the outside of the block. So it's harder for him to be tackled. Player has to come across his body to nick the ball, essentially. Whereas if he was holding it on that right side, infield, it's much easier for a player to swoop in, tackle it, and it go infield, and they can escape. Much easier to do without fouling. So that's one obvious advantage that Madueke has, which, again, I'll quickly show you an example now. He does so well with one of these moves that he does, where he puts his body down and attacks the defenders. It's almost like he's attacking their waist. I'm not sure how many of you are into basketball as well, but if you think about when players are attacking the rim, how they sort of lower their body to attack the defender's waist, so that if they do make contact, they're sort of got that lower sense of gravity. They're making contact lower down, and it allows them to sort of power through the move and sort of absorb the contact. Madueke has done this so well. I'll speak about this when he plays on the right as well. But again, by doing this, when he gets into even a little bit higher positions, he can carry it towards the box on his left foot, and he can sort of dip his body to take the momentum into the box with him. And he's so good at doing it that defenders just have a nightmare against him trying to defend that. And I'm going to show you an example of that now. This example is from the right side, but it shows Noni Madueke using that move to burst past his man, use his body to protect the ball, get in front of the man, and then create that contact. And this is an example from 2023, playing for the under-21s of England. Again, cutting inside, but this time playing off the left. But again, from these positions, because he's got that threat, and teams don't want to let him sort of push towards the byline or even just push towards the box, where he can get those box entries. We saw him doing it on the right, and that was technically attacking it on his weaker foot. When he goes for that byline attack, he's actually going on his right foot. In this instance, he's on his stronger foot, so again, opens up a few different options in terms of crossing. But because teams are then worried about that, they're almost showing him inside, which we saw against Everton. 2 huge chances cutting inside on his right foot. The first one, he was a bit hesitant to let it go, but still pulled a really good save from Pickford into that bottom right-hand corner. And he did it again in the second half, where he should have scored a goal in this game from 2 of those moves that pulled really good saves from Pickford, who did well to deal with them. But if he can keep sort of the variation of, like I say, attacking the box on the outside here, but also having the confidence to come inside on that right foot and just get shots off, because we know Madueke is confident enough to do that. We know that he wants to get shots off and score goals. And I think that's a huge part of his game. And if those come on his right foot as well, he's a ridiculously good weapon to have on both sides of the pitch, especially with players like Quenda, who offer similar things joining next season, who can sort of, again, do similar things off both sides, a progressive carrier, very direct in his actions, a bit like Noni. So that's very, very positive to speak about. The other thing I wanted to touch on, I'll quickly show the examples of those goals and how he sort of weaved inside on that right foot now. For that first example, he drops in, makes a little 1-2 with Cucurella to burst into the space where he can then accelerate into the space. He's already taken that touch towards goal. He then hesitates but gets a shot off on his right foot. This variation kept defenders guessing, trying to push him on the outside, but he kept combining to come inside and really nicely variating those moves between the two, coming inside, driving at the centre of the pitch, but also then cutting on and going on his left foot on the outside of the block, as we've spoke about. But the other thing I wanted to touch on with Madueke in this role, and what I love about it, is also his ability to attack that back post. Now, we've seen him doing this on the right, but I don't think Chelsea progress enough through the left-hand side when they then put balls into the box, especially because usually on this side it would be Neto or Sancho. And their crosses, they lack. I mean, Neto either gets to the byline or on this side, he sort of has to stand it up across the box on his left foot. He's better at doing it on this side of the pitch where he has that in-swinger, Neto, where he cuts back onto his left foot to put it in the box. Same with Sancho, he has that right foot in-swinger on this side of the pitch, but we don't see it as often. But Madueke, he's had a lot of chances arriving at this back post this season. Now, I mean, a lot of people probably remember the one where he hit the post. Was it he hit the post, or was it the kerfuffle with him and Cole Palmer when they blocked each other off the line? But I think in that game, Madueke had 2 or 3 chances at the back post. It's something that he has sort of like added to his game this season to arrive at that back post. I think that's something Maresca wants from his wingers. We saw that with Mudryk. He mentioned it when Mudryk did it. There was a point where he was mentioning how he wanted him to attack that back post and arrive there. And I think that's something with Madueke, but he does it as well from this left-hand side. And the difference is that when that ball comes in from here, say it is Neto putting in that in-swinger, if it's coming over Madueke, it's going to land on his left foot to hit it easier on the volley. Whereas what was happening a lot on this side was he was having to either scuff it inwards with like sort of a stabbed effort on his left foot, sort of towards goal and just trying to get something on target, or it was coming over his shoulder and he was struggling with the right foot. On this side, it's a little bit more natural. He can still attack it with his head. He can still sort of have the ability to bring it down on the outside if he needs to, sort of over his shoulder to then, even if he needs to attack and then put it back across. Or he can hit it on the volley over his foot, over his shoulder with his left foot. So that's another option that it sort of gives him. So there's a few reasons why I like Madueke on that side of the pitch. Again, I'm going to quickly show a few more examples to end off the video of just him carrying inside and how he can really use that physicality to use his body to get inside the pitch, maybe a little bit better than someone like Neto does. So hopefully this video has given you a good example of why I think Madueke could be really key in this role. And again, please do smash the like button because we're going to be talking about Madueke and how he can get at someone like Trent if he was to play on this left side against Liverpool. And like I say, Nicholas Jackson, there's a lot to speak about with him in this Liverpool game. So if you want that, drop a like. Let me know any questions you have, but that I can answer in the video for tomorrow. Any questions you have about Madueke in this new left role. Like I say, I don't think it's going to be a permanent thing. I think he'll play on both sides. It's just nice to know that you have that option now, especially when you've got Esteval coming in next season, Quenda, who could be coming in the door soon, Neto, who can play both sides. I think it's one of those things where you want those wingers to be able to play both sides to give you different options with different sort of footed players on different sides of the pitch. That is a common thing that a lot of managers like to do with their wingers. So all questions, put them in the comments down below. I'll try to get to them. Please leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.